Welcome back to the channel. One might assume that the name Neville Goddard would have been long forgotten by now, having passed away more than 50 years ago in relative obscurity. Surprisingly, the enlightened mystic and hermetic figure of the 20th century has seen a remarkable revival of interest in the 21st century. His teachings are praised by contemporary best-selling New Age writers, including Wayne Dyer, who said that he read Neville's book, The Power of Awareness, 7 times.
Listen to Neville. This is one of my most favorite quotes from The Power of Awareness.
That which you feel yourself to be, you are. And you are given that which you are. So assume the feeling that would be yours were you already in possession of your wish. And your wish must be realized. It must be expressed.
Neville explained that our thoughts and imaginations have the power to create our reality.
That imagining creates reality.
He believed that we can manifest our desires by using the law of assumption, which is the idea that we should assume that our desires have already been fulfilled. There are no coincidences in life, and if you are here watching this video, then you have been attracted to and guided here by what Neville Goddard calls your fourth dimensionally larger self, also known as your higher self. From the late 1930s until he died in 1972, he captivated audiences with lectures about creating your world through the power of your imagination. Neville believed that your thoughts and emotions shaped everything in your life. He taught that each person creates numerous realities through their thoughts, and that you are a part of God in human form, with limitless possibilities. Little is known about the enigmatic spiritual teacher who left his unmistakable mark on the American New Age spiritual scene. He intentionally kept an air of mystery, which created curiosity and questions about the origins of his ideas. Neville Lancelot Goddard, born on February 19, 1905 in Barbados, was the 4th child in a family of 9 boys and 1 girl. At 17 in 1922, he moved to New York to study drama. Shifting to a successful career as a dancer, he married his first wife, Madrid Mary Hughes. They had a son, Joseph Neville Goddard, in 1924, but the marriage was brief. Goddard says he became interested in metaphysics while touring with a dance company in England when he met a Scotsman who lent him books on the powers of the mind. By the time he returned to New York, he decided to leave the entertainment industry to focus entirely on studying spiritual and mystical subjects. He joined occult groups, and he also found a mentor in 1931, an Ethiopian-born rabbi named Abdullah. According to Neville, he and Abdullah would spend the next several years studying Hebrew, scripture, and Kabbalah together. This laid the foundation for Neville's philosophy of mental creativity. Neville said he first grasped the power of creative thought while living in a rented room on Manhattan's Upper West Side in the winter of 1933. At that time, he was feeling down. His theater career had hit a roadblock, and he had little money. Reflecting on his 12 years in America, he felt like a failure. The 28-year-old, longing to spend Christmas with his family in Barbados, could not afford the trip. Abdullah told him,
"If you sleep in Barbados and view the world from Barbados, the means will appear, and you will go to Barbados."
Neville liked the idea of imagining that he was at home in Barbados. He said Abdullah taught him to be fully committed to the idea as if it were true. One December morning, out of the blue, Neville says he received a letter from his brother. The letter included money and a ticket to Barbados. It had worked. This was the turning point. Neville had discovered a key aspect of what would become the cornerstone of his philosophy. Feeling as if your goal is already achieved is the secret.
So this is what I mean by feeling is the secret. I catch the mood, the feeling that would be mine if I were what I want to be.
Neville offered his listeners and readers simple meditative techniques, such as using the practice of visualization before going to sleep. teaching them to let go and use their imagination. To succeed, he said, you must have a willingness to learn, persistence, and diligence. Neville Goddard believed that with his teachings you could effectively write your own ticket in life. Mastering the lessons may take years, but once mastered, you can attain true freedom. Yes, you can manifest material things like cars, homes, and wealth. But more importantly, Neville counseled you to use the practice to transform yourself into the person you aspire to be. He saw life as a journey filled with experiences and lessons based totally on whatever you determined to be true for yourself at that moment. He spoke about how the mind creates multiple realities, and your reality, your outcome, is the one you choose to believe. Interestingly, quantum theory agrees with Neville's concept of how the universe works. Schrodinger's cat is a thought experiment that states that if you seal a cat in a box with something that can kill it, you won't know if the cat is alive or dead until you open the box. Thus, quantum physics describes an outcome in which the cat is dead and alive, and either is real or possible. The outcome depends entirely on the desire of the observer. That's exactly what Neville Goddard had discovered and described. Everything already exists in potential, and through our thoughts and our feelings, we select which outcome we ultimately experience. In a prophetic observation in 1948, Neville told his listeners that science would one day explain why there are multiple realities. When you desire something, don't question your qualifications. Only ask yourself if your request is genuine. Don't worry about the how or the when. Just assume that you already have whatever it is that you honestly and fervently desire, and it will materialize in a way that you could not have imagined.
Now this whole record is technique. I want to show you today how to put your wonderful imagination right into the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and let it remain there and fall asleep in that state. As you do it, in that state, quietly fall into sleep, and in a way you will never know, you could never consciously devise the means that will be employed, you will find yourself moving across a series of events leading you towards the objective realization of this state. For in our capacity to live in the feeling of the wish fulfilled lies our capacity to live the more abundant life.
In 1942, Goddard married Catherine Van Schmoos. They welcomed a daughter named Victoria the same year, and they moved to Los Angeles in the 1950s. In the final 12 years of his life, Goddard went in a completely new and less accepted direction. He said that he had a profound mystical experience in 1959. After that life-changing event, he began teaching that each of us is like Christ, waiting to be set free through a metaphysical rebirth. He called this new idea the promise. According to Neville, the promise was that each of us could become God. That's what he said was the symbolic meaning behind the crucifixion, where God took on human form so that eventually humans could recognize themselves as God. Neville said that the literal and ultimate truth can be found in Psalm 82:6, which declares,
"Ye are gods."
During his lifetime, Neville never achieved the fame of his better-known contemporaries like Manly P. Hall and Walter Russell. Also, while the story of Abdullah was life-changing, there is some dispute if there really was a teacher named Abdullah. Some think that Neville created him to explain mysticism and the occult to the uninitiated. Whether Abdullah was real or not does not diminish the tremendous contributions by Neville to New Age thinking. His life-altering practice sounds simple, but it's not as easy in practice. By reshaping your mind, you hold the power to transform your world through your perception. By embracing the amazing journey of self-discovery, you can create your reality with the power of your imagination.
It may seem incredible, but it is true. The world in which we live is a world of imagination. In fact, life itself is an activity of imagining. All that we behold, though it appears without, it is within, in our imagination, of which this world of mortality is but a shadow. Therefore, the secret of imagining is the greatest of all problems, to the solution of which everyone should aspire. For supreme power, supreme wisdom, and supreme joy lie in the solution of this great mystery. When man solves the mystery of imagining, he will have discovered the secret of causation, and that is, imagining creates reality.
If you found this video informative, be sure to like and subscribe for more explorations into history, spirituality, and the mysteries that continue to captivate our curiosity. Until next time, keep exploring, and may your journey be filled with enlightenment and divine guidance.